Located in the Pacific Ring of Fire, plagued by poverty, savaged by non-stop storms, and worst of all, cyberbullied by every other country in the world. Truly, nobody else knows the definition of survival horror than the Philippines. So, as a form of escapism from our everyday life here in this godforsaken country, I've decided to play 3 Filipino horror games. Yeah, that makes sense. Criteria, they have to be from Filipino developers, duh, and 2, I don't know, they look cool I guess. I will not spoil the endings of any of these games. That said, I will be spoiling story elements that come before the ending, so be warned. I am making this video to celebrate indie games, and with how short and cheap these are, you absolutely must experience them for yourself. With all that said, come celebrate Halloween with me as I yap about 3 random horror games from the Philippines. Ligaw is a 2022 horror game where you play as a delivery driver bringing packages to people's houses in the dead of night. The game was developed by Raven Studios, a group of student devs from the University of Caloocan City. Before the game even starts, there's a surprisingly emotional intro. The narrator talks about how much COVID-19 impacted the economy, particularly those of working-class citizens such as delivery drivers.
Iba talaga nagawa ng pandemya sa karamihan. Marami ang nawalan ng trabaho, marami rin ang nawalan ng buhay.
Philippines has now surpassed Indonesia as the country with the highest number of COVID-19 cases in South Asia.
Domestic air and domestic sea travel to and from Metro Manila shall be suspended beginning March 15, 2020.
The player character is one such driver who is overworked and on their last 3 packages of the day.
Minsan hindi mo na din iintindihin yung mga pansarili mong nararamdaman. Mga bag.
While I'm impressed with many of the game's ideas, you can kinda feel its more amateur elements early on. The immediate clue is the game looking like a mod for Half-Life. Not Half-Life 2, Half-Life, as in the game from 1998. Most of you probably weren't even born in 1998. Despite its limited visual fidelity, the game ran so slow when I booted it up. I had to lower all the settings and run it in windowed mode. That way, it wouldn't run like the PowerPoint presentation that was presumably shown by the students to the panel before the game. Ligaw makes good use of its lo-fi visuals to create an uncanny atmosphere, familiar Filipino neighborhoods, shrouded in just enough darkness to hide imperfections. Except for these tricycles, they're just... come on, guys. Oh, the tricycles. Like, this would be... They really cheaped out on the tricycles here, guys. I'm sorry. I took my time looking at all the details in this game and was impressed by the accuracy of the Filipino neighborhoods and houses. I even played a little guessing game trying to guess all the brands they had in the sari-sari store. They don't have the rights for that. They have Coffeeco, Milo, Energen. Look at those sticko textures. They wrapped it. Yeah, that's cool. Well, let's see how many brands I can identify. Like, that's Copico, Milo, Energen. I don't know what that is. Oh, that one's definitely Evaporada of some kind. It's blue. That one's Alaska. These are just a bunch of biscuits. There one, that's UFC ketchup. That's Sticko. That's Ube, chocolate. And that's Super Sticks, or whatever. That familiarity plays a huge part in why the game's creepy atmosphere works. I also like how the one human being we see, an old man, is enveloped in shadow, adding to the surreal horror. Yeah, pro tip in the Philippines, if you see that, don't go down. It's bad.
Iiwan mo ba ang motor mong nakabukas?
Ay, oo nga Manong eh. Kakagulat ka naman. Di ko na napansin, dala ng pagod, sorry.
Hey, Manong? Okay. Well, I'm taking my package, bro. I'm not gonna f around with you. I literally did not even see him. It's gonna f I know it's gonna f with me. I know it's gonna f with me. I know the jump scare's coming, and I'm gonna be pissed off. But Lumi, I hear you plead. It's a horror game. Where are jump scares? Well, good news for you, buddy, because the first one is just around the corner. The Meow. God. Oh, wait. This is the first real criticism I have of the game besides the performance issues. The jump scares were effective in making me jump, but they didn't really make me scared. It's like how tickling someone doesn't make you funny. It doesn't help that there were moments where the game would just throw out 3D models at me in completely static poses, which just made me laugh. Oh! No sound. There were also times where I would just straight up miss jump scares because they would trigger while I was looking elsewhere or at the in-game phone for objectives. Oh, what? Oh, I'm so sorry. I missed the jump scare because I opened my phone. This is like Gen Z. This is the problem with Gen Z. You can't scare them anymore. They're too focused on their phones. That said, the game does have moments of brilliance with its scares. One that stands out is when I walked out of the locked apartment and a disembodied voice says "Psst" in my ear, which made me look around in a panic, only to find a man standing silently behind me. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord Jesus. There's gonna be a guy here. No more. Okay. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Holy. Oh, that's a hand. That one got me. That was right in my ear. That was up. Fuck off! It's a simple trick, but because of how loud the rest of the scares are, it genuinely got to me. The question throughout this short game is whether the driver is experiencing actual danger or suffering from a mental breakdown. Given that their job involves meeting strangers in the dead of night, both these things are entirely possible. Ligao actually got quite viral here in the Philippines, with news sites such as 24 Horas and CNN Philippines covering the game. An interview with Spot.ph revealed the core motivations for the game's ending and setting. Ligao serves as a haunting reminder that there are horrors in this world far more unsettling than ghosts and ghouls, and they can only be battled through understanding, acceptance, and compassion. And that's really what I respect most about this game. Despite its flaws, Ligao had something to say. It touches upon the mundane horror of everyday life here in the Philippines, and the fact that this was just some kid's thesis project is really impressive considering I sucked with my thesis, so hey, props to them. For a group of inexperienced developers, it's plenty ambitious, and I hope to see more from them. Hapunan is a 2025 horror game where you play as a balut vendor who finds themselves in a horrific scenario that will leave them yelling more than just balut. Developed by Yikon, I was fascinated by the game's art style, reminiscent of games from indie horror darlings such as Chila's Art and Puppet Combo. I've always found the style of wrapping real people's faces onto janky 3D models hilarious in its morbidity. They give such strong skinwalker energy with their bad audio voices, off-putting postures, and photoreal skin stretched over a creepy body. As for the game, we begin in a very ramshackle home to showcase the poverty of the main character and his family. It's pretty typical for these kinds of games to do mundane tasks, get spooky exposition about the upcoming threats, etc. Much like Ligao, I spent a lot of my playtime just looking at all the cool Filipino stuff because, hey, I'm not scared to admit it, I'm a Pinoy pride kind of guy. I love seeing Filipino stuff in media. See, I like when they use photoreal textures like that. It makes it look like super scary and real. I'm already enjoying the depth this has. Like, well, not depth, more like deep. I like that I'm exploring a lot, and I like that there are characters that are voiced. Like, that's very new. For a first-time project, it's pretty impressive. Ooh, again, let's play the game again. No, that one's Clover, Oishi, Chippy, Moby, Piatos, Manghuan. The rural setting adds an element of danger and unfamiliarity for me personally. As someone who's lived in the city their whole life, the empty woods and flimsy houses made me feel extra unsafe. There's a certain segment where I had to painstakingly move boxes one by one into a building that I knew would lead to a jump scare, and hey, I gotta admit it worked on me. Oh, for f***ing sake. Oh my god. God, there's no music too. They're really f***ing me up here, because that's gonna be gone, right? I'm gonna, like, look I'm gonna like look, and once I place it, it's gone. It is not gonna be there. Oh, this section. Oh my god. Oh god. I knew it. 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 But the most unsettling scene to me in the entire game was when I was placing down my food, gunshots and horrified screaming filled the air. See, the fun part about recording. You can even see in my recording, I wasn't saying anything. I was just like silently panicking and ran for the shack. The suddenness and lack of visual on where the sound came from had me just scared. It's a great, great moment. There are also subtler scary elements, such as characters moving into suspicious places while you're talking to someone else, and weird sounds here and there. But by far, the best part of the game is how goofy it gets. I've talked about the scares, but really, this game is mostly a comedy, which I find really charming. Wait.
Balit kayo dyan.
Balit kayo dyan. Now, you gotta put some body in that, man.
Balot.
Oh, balot!
Balot.
Ano,
Bro, you only have 2 options to choose from. Why is it taking you so long to decide?
mas marunong ka pa sa customer.
Yeah? What exactly are you
Ano
buying?
na lang, isang balut at 3 chicharon.
Oh. Isang balot?
Oh, sa'yo na rin yung sukli. Nagmamadali mo pa ako.
Thank you!
Balit kayo dyan. Balot.
Someone's gonna come in from my right or left.
Balot.
I'm not gonna be able to stand.
Balot.
Oh, me! That actually got me. That sucks. It's because she's the only one who's not like a real person. This is literally like a Warcraft 3 model, dude. It's fucked up. Yeah, you scared me.
Nagulat kita.
It got me.
Gusto ko lang naman bumili ng balot at chicharon.
You can also tell the faces and voice acting came from friends and family of the developer. I even found a post confirming this with the dev's father playing the characters Bong, Mangberto, radio announcer, and, surprise surprise, the dad.
Pili pala ng, pabili nung, mas marunong ka pa sa customer.
Masyado kang pakilamero. Akin na nga susi. Sa susunod na gagawin pa ulit ito, hindi ka na makakapasok dito. 10 na po ang namamatay dyan sa barangay Sakdudol. Mag-ingat po tayo dyan at hanggat maaari ay wag na munang lumabas ng bahay.
Anong ginagawa mo dito? Huwag kang maingay. Halika dito.
It's super wholesome and shows how important the support of loved ones are when you're pursuing your passions, such as game development. That said, I did see some unfortunate promotional images that use generative AI in the developer's early Facebook posts, but thankfully they seem to have stopped. So, yay? In any case, Dev, if you're watching this, you don't need AI in your life, man. You're way better than whatever crap that thing can generate. I'm excited for you. With its blend of horror and comedy, I found myself surprisingly entertained by Hapunan. The game went viral earlier this year, gaining news coverage and was even played by huge streamers overseas, such as the guy who beat Pekora in the Game Awards.
It says press spacebar to call customers. Excuse me?
Balot.
From the dev's Facebook page, their next project seems to be inspired by Gabi ng Lagim, a classic horror radio drama here in the Philippines, so that's something to be excited about. Oh, and here's my spoiler-free reaction to the game's ending. Oh my god, this song! Holy shit, I'm gonna get copyright strike. Whew, okay, right. I'm bringing out the trigger warnings for this one because we're gonna be talking about some real dark stuff. Saintmaker is a 2023 horror game where you play as Holly Beltran, a teenager who was sent to St. Idilora's convent, a place that specializes in reforming troubled daughters. As Holly meets the convent's dysfunctional characters and discovers more of its mysteries, it becomes abundantly clear there's more than just reformation going on in these venerated halls. Saintmaker is by far the most polished of the 3 games I talked about today. Unlike the others, which featured first-time developers, Yang Yang Mobile is a veteran indie studio which specializes in visual novels. With multiple games under their belt and an upcoming title in 2026, I had higher expectations from them than the freshies. I'm happy to say they exceeded my expectations. Saintmaker clocks in at 6 hours of plot, compared to the breezy 30 to 40 minutes of our previous titles. I know a lot of people are wary of visual novels, and I don't blame you. The stereotype for visual novels is understandably filled with anime waifus and, less wholesome stuff. That said, my first love has always been books, and visual novels are essentially just those choose-your-own-adventure books, which really is just a prototypical RPG if you think about it. Plus, I'ma say it, until then, one of my favorite games from last year absolutely is a visual novel. It's just a very, very cool and dynamic visual novel, which Saintmaker also is. Saintmaker does not lack for incredible visuals and audio. The convent's gothic architecture complements the game's themes of Catholic trauma, and when the scares start, the beautiful art style becomes magnanimous in its horror. The writing is also fantastic, each character having deep nuances that the player can choose to explore more of depending on their choices. As you might have noticed, I don't have audio of myself playing the game because I was just so engaged with the story. Unless you just want to hear about 6 hours of me breathing and going sometimes, it's not an interesting video. I wasn't there to crack jokes, I was there to help Holly overcome their trauma, damn it. Saintmaker immediately appealed to me for its focus on religious horror, something that is prevalent in the very Catholic Philippines. The mundane dread of one's religious upbringing, mixed with the genuine horror of unknowable forces, is conveyed perfectly in this game. Full disclosure, I grew up Catholic, so I'm very familiar with the main character's feelings in this game. The relationship between Christianity and the Philippines is a complicated one to say the least. Although the Philippines is by far the most Christian country in Asia, we did not come across Christianity in a, let's just say, natural way. Colonizers brought the religion to our shores, and many times it was done so with force. The pre-colonial people with their polytheistic religions were seen as pagans, and were ostracized as such, if not outright purged. Still, like many colonized people, Filipinos made Christianity their own. I would never begrudge good people of their beliefs, and I have plenty of family who are active churchgoers. Even so, religion remains a touchy topic here. Traditional beliefs have hurt the children of abusive parents who use religion as an excuse to inflict pain. That's not even getting into how the institution has done all this bigotry and control over the government, yada yada yada. All this to say, the very title of the game, Saintmaker, hints at the convent's true nature. All the characters in the story, in one way or another, have suffered because of their religion. Whether the betraying hand of a guardian or crippling guilt from their own impurity, pain is an overarching theme of the story. The obsession with redemption through suffering is prevalent among Christianity. Saints aren't made through virtuous deeds or simply overcoming adversity. Saints are made when they die. Only by sacrificing one's life for God can you even be considered for canonization. So, are you willing to die for the glory of God, or continue to live in sin? Saintmaker is a very deep game, and it's not something I can cover in the format of this video. So who knows, I might make a solo essay about it in the future. Let me know if that's something you'd love to see.
Pure. Perfect.
I played these 3 games on a whim because I felt like releasing something for Halloween, and once again, like until then, I am shocked by how much the Filipino games industry has grown. Also, I'm just gonna say, This video only took like 4 days to make, so it's gonna be a bit jank, but I was just so excited to cover this for Halloween. The depth of the games, the diversity of the developers, the cultural resonance from the stories. There's so much to enjoy about exploring Filipino indie games. If I had to pick a favorite from these three though, I'd have to go with Saintmaker. It's genuinely one of the most beautiful visual novels I've ever played. High quality art, stellar writing, strong religious themes, and of course, extremely depressing subject matter. If there's anything you should know about me, it's that I love tragic stories. Saintmaker put me on a roller coaster of emotions, and I'm just lucky it happened to look and sound amazing. That said, I do recommend grabbing all three of these games for Halloween. If nothing else, just to support local developers. Oh, and by the way, I also made another Halloween season video, my Slay the Princess video essay called This Game is a Love Story. It's on my channel right now, I uploaded it last week, and I am shamelessly shilling it because I loved making it so much and I want more people to see that game, so check it out if you haven't. Anyways, happy Halloween, and I'll see you all in a few seconds once I walk into your room.